Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is John, aka Latherhog, bringing you a razor spotlight featuring the Karve Overlander safety razor. Prior to picking up this razor, I had a few friends in the community highly recommend the Overlander to me, so I was going into this shave really excited to see what this razor would yield. So up to now, Karve Shaving Company, based out of Canada, has been primarily producing one razor, and that is the Christopher Bradley. However, that one razor has been produced in a multitude of both materials as well as different base plate options. I would say this is more a variable system than an adjustable system, but it gave you a lot of options and for shavers to really key in on what experience they wanted. Now, the main reason I mentioned that razor is that the Karve Overlander is the first new model coming from Karve, and on top of that, it only comes with one setup. So let me hit you with some of the specs of this razor. First up is the handle length, and that is 90 millimeters or 3.55 inches. The total weight of the razor is 110 grams. The blade gap is 0.73 millimeters. And lastly, the blade exposure is 0.07 millimeters. The retail price on the Karve Overlander is 125 Canadian or just over 100 USD. One similarity between the Overlander and the Christopher Bradley is the bead blasted finish, which gives a nice matte feeling to the entire razor. Now, one thing I want to note is the material of brass, and to some shavers, the smell of brass is something very off-putting. While not an issue for me, I do want to acknowledge that brass, especially when coming in contact with water, does have a particular smell, so I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that. One other thing to keep in mind with uncoated brass is patina, and that is the changing of the color of the brass, often a darkening of it, as it's used and comes in contact with water. Even after you dry it, the color will change. And while that look is a positive to many shavers, others prefer a more uniform look. They prefer that the razor doesn't change in color or appearance. So just another thing to keep in mind, guys, if you're looking at this brass razor or really any brass razor. All right, so that's more or less the specs on the Overlander. Next, let's talk about how this razor shaves. And let me tell you, the hype is real, guys. At least for me. Right from the get-go in my first shave, I loved how this razor handled. I know I keep bringing up the Christopher Bradley, but being that that's the only other razor that Karve made, it's worth bringing up. That razor had a very specific angle, some would say non-traditional, and it really required you to ride the cap to get the optimum shave. The Overlander is much more forgiving as far as what angle it requires. It leans closer to the traditional 30-degree angle that other safety razors have, and again, that angle is really easy to find. And coupled with a low blade field design, it just makes for an incredibly smooth shave. However, it has medium to medium high efficiency, which I was just super impressed by. It had no problem whatsoever mowing down 4 or 5 days worth of beard growth. And for someone that typically has a 3-pass shave, 2 passes will do it to look presentable. I know I don't often go too much into the construction of the razor, but the fit and finish of the Overlander is spot on. The clamping is excellent. There's really no play as far as the blade when inserted into the razor head. And while the handle length of 3.55 inches might not be to everyone's preference, the good news is you can really swap out the handle and put in one more to your liking. In fact, I plan on trying the handle of the Christopher Bradley with the Overlander head in an upcoming shave. And so I think that's pretty much going to do it for the razor spotlight. Have you tried the Overlander? If you have, please let me know your impressions in the comments below. Guys, if you found this video helpful at all, you can do me a huge favor by hitting that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I hope you're doing well, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Today's video was made possible in part by our wonderful patrons. For more information about our Patreon, check out patreon.com/lathertalk. You can also check out our Etsy store and pick up a comfy Lather Talk t-shirt or coffee mug. Find all the links down below.